If Biden actually believed that his son was politicized by the Justice Department's prosecution, then why has he not fired one employee of the Justice Department? Because if he believes that there's corruption, if he believes that they're unfairly targeting individuals, he has the authority to fire those prosecutors, yet he hasn't done that.
Congressman Jason Smith, who led one of the Republican investigations into Hunter Biden, reacting to President Biden's reversal and pardoning his son. Now, Democrats are worrying this move throws open the door for President-elect Trump to issue expansive clemency. Fox News contributor Andy McCarthy is here now. Do you have any concerns, Andy?
Well, I think you're going to see more pardons, but they're going to happen before Trump gets in. The only sense I can make, Sandra, out of the structure of Hunter Biden's pardon is that President Biden has to pardon other people who were involved in what we've called the Biden influence peddling scheme that went on for so many years. Otherwise, the pardon doesn't make sense to me. I can explain why that is, just reading it if you'd like.
Yeah, please do. I mean, the concern obviously is for some what sort of pardons we might see under a Trump presidency, but there's still time left in this presidency, Andy.
Yeah, and usually, Sandra, the scandalous pardons happen when a failed president is on his way out the door. And these pardons happened early because they didn't want Hunter to get sentenced and have the judgment of conviction entered, which is what would have started to happen next week. But let me just explain. This pardon is extraordinary in that it gives him basically 11 years of immunity from everything conceivable in federal law beginning in 2014. It's obviously targeting the years that the Biden Justice Department averted its eyes from, namely 2014 through 2016, when Joe Biden was the Obama administration vice president, and when his influence was at its most valuable for people who might be willing to pay Hunter and others for it. The reason I say that there have to be more pardons is what they're obviously worried about is an investigation by the Trump Justice Department of this scheme. But by giving Hunter this pardon, what you've done is immunized him. He now has no Fifth Amendment privilege, which means if they're really worried about a Trump Justice Department investigation, they could bring Hunter into the grand jury and make him testify about everybody else who was involved in the scheme. So if what you're really worried about, which is what Biden appears to be worried about, is that kind of investigation, which looks into the things, especially 2014 through 2016, that the Biden Justice Department didn't look at, it doesn't make sense to pardon only Hunter. You'd have to pardon everybody.
What, Andy, as we leave you off here, I guess, like, what shocks you the most about all of this? Because there are some, obviously, who will say in reaction to this, well, not shocking, that as the outgoing president would choose to pardon his own son. But what really sort of stands out to you the most as we continue to cover this?
Well, I think the cynicism of Biden is the most shocking thing, because he said again and again and again that he wouldn't pardon Hunter. And I always said that was laughable, Sandra, from the first time that he said it, because if you looked at Hunter's litigation strategy in these cases, it only made sense if he knew he was going to get a pardon. But when I say the cynicism is what backs me up, it goes on to this day. I mean, even after that history of lie after lie, today they come out, or they began to come out on Sunday, saying that Hunter was selectively prosecuted and there was prosecutorial misconduct in connection with his investigation. All of that prosecution was play acting. They tried to get rid of the Hunter case. They tried to make it disappear, and they only prosecuted him because they knew in the end his father would pardon him if all else failed. But as the guest that you played the clip from before said, he hasn't fired anyone if he really believed there was prosecutorial indiscretion here.
Such a great point. We heard that earlier right here on this program. Andy, great to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandra.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.